Now let's change codes and concentrate on the Springbok coming up very soon. And here are three likely lads that might well play a part in the finish. That was Trixies Wish, there's Giz a Smile, and Jolly Joker. And what do these three all have in common? Philip Rees.
Philip, you have an excellent record in the Springbok, but before we talk about this year's hopefuls, I'd like to cast your mind back to last year. At the 4-7 favourite Lisnakill Wish, who was beaten by your other trained winner, of course, Double Rock. Is Lisnakill Wish a frustrating greyhound to train?
No, he's a very easy dog to train. The problem with him, he's got to get an early pace run. You know what I mean? He's not a stayer. He's not like his brothers. If he's a genuine dog, he's, say, good for a 28-10 and that's it. He's no exciting pace. He's just a real good dog, you know, on his day if he comes away. Yeah. If he misses his break, he would have a job to really get the 480. You know what I mean? He's not a very, very strong dog. In front he's all right, but you know, he's easy dog to train, really.
Yeah. He hasn't been in action over the recent months. What's been wrong with him?
He'd done a wrist in the Irish Derby, Grand National, and we didn't know whether he'd ever run again. We've had him to the vets, Plunkett Devlin, and he said that give him a good rest and he'll be all right. So now we started galloping him this week, and he'll probably trial again Monday, and we'll try and get him back for the National.
Well, that sounds good. Now, moving on to this year's hopefuls for the Springbok, you must have been amazed by Giz a Smile breaking the track record in a modest H2 contest.
Yeah, he's a very, very fast dog. He looked, I wouldn't have thought he was capable of doing 27.90, but I would have said he was about a 28.20 dog, 28.30 dog, which is still good enough to win the Springbok.
I've yet to see him over hurdles. Describe his style of running for our viewers.
Well, he come out in the race in question when he broke the track record. The box opened and he pinged the box, jumped like a stag and just pulled away from a real good field. I think he beat Jolly Joker 6 1/4 lengths in the track record time. And Jolly Joker, I mean, he's a hell of a dog as well.
And he's a class performer. Talking about Jolly Joker and Trixies Wish, two little brothers of Lisnakill Wish, why were they tried over hurdles this year and not last year, as Lisnakill Wish was?
They went for all the major races last year, the Ledger, the Derby. They went 2 or 3 rounds, but they wasn't quite good enough, you know, on the flat. So we reverted to hurdles, and let's see how they go over the hurdles.
Yes, I mean, Jolly Joker and Trixies Wish seem to be making their mark. Trixies Wish has already won an open race over hurdles and won a graded race too. Trixies Wish stays out wide, stays on strongly. He's obviously got the class, but is he a natural hurdler?
He's a very, very bold hurdler. As soon as he learns to get a bit lower with his jumping, then you could see the track record go again.
So let's see Trixies Wish in action. A fair field to beat though. Super Gem drawn in trap 1, representing Linda Mullins, 8-11 favourite. And John Coleman has Fly Pride in the field in trap 5, sent off at 5-1 for this Springbok trial stakes over the course and distance. Trixies Wish then in trap 4. Not the fastest of starters, and as you can see here, took the first flight okay, a bit hesitant, but took it well. Second one, far better, crowded at the first bend, but watch the pace here between the second and third bends. This is really what sets the crowd alight. Super Gem out in front, but now being out-jumped and out-sped, you could say, as they go down towards that second last bend. And Trixies Wish just with one more flight to negotiate. Comes up towards this one. Didn't jump it too well, it has to be said. Just went through it, flapped at it slightly, but performed well. Recording a time of 28.35, that's fast. The sectional, 4.30, that's slow. Let's see Trixies Wish brother, Jolly Joker, in action. This is just a grader, a H2. He's drawn in trap 1, and again another moderate start. The winning time here, 28.74. Obviously not as fast as Trixies Wish. And Jolly Joker's a greyhound who doesn't really want to leave the rails, so it seems to me. Another one who has to work hard for victory, coming from behind. And if you think he's just a raw novice, in fact there'll all be raw novices of course for the Springbok, well, sometimes coming from behind they have to do it the hard way. Anyway, he's done it well, he's won comfortably.
Jolly Joker looked a carbon copy to me of Lisnakill Wish. I saw him on Saturday. He was in trap 4. As soon as he came out of the boxes, he wanted to be next to the rails. He found some trouble. Do you think he's going to be another one of these sort of frustrating greyhounds who'll do all his best work in the closing stages?
He will always have to do his best work in the closing stages, but where he differs from Listener Kill Wish had early pace. Jolly Joker hasn't got early pace, but he's very, very safe, and he come through the field. You know what I mean? To win his races, he'd be a top class as well.
When the Springbok comes along every year, do you look at your kennel towards the middle part of November, December, and say, well, who have you got who might make up to a hurdle? I mean, what kind of process do you go through to put a greyhound over hurdles?
Usually the dogs that we've run in open races the year before, if they've come to the end or they're not winning as they should be, we have a chat with the owners and discuss it, and then I tell them that the future, you know, if they take to hurdling, they've got chances of having a top class dog again. I mean, there's a hell of a lot of preparation goes into it. We school them at home, we give them jumps over hurdles for about a fortnight, over one hurdle, you know, with like dogs teaching them how to jump, and we and by hand and everything. So it's a long preparation, but then after a fortnight you say, well, I think he's ready for a trial. You go down and then put it to the test.
Yeah. You were telling me earlier, before we started this interview, that when you actually take them for a trial, you trial them first of all over 252 metres. Now, why is that?
Well, just for their safety's sake. I mean, what we do, we take them down, we book them for a 252 trial. Before the trial, we give them a hand slip. Now, we take the dog up to within 5 foot of the first hurdle that he's got to jump. So when the hare goes by, he sees the hare and he's got a nice slow jump at the first one. Now then they get speed up for the second one, and that's when you keep your fingers crossed. Now usually when they get over the second one, they're all right.
Yeah, so it's a matter of gaining confidence then.
It is, yeah. Yeah, I suppose it's new to them, but they soon pick it up. Yeah. And if they do start swerving, which is one thing I don't like with dogs, I don't try them again.
Right. You've got more than 3 strings to your bow for this year's Springbok. Who else might line up for the event?
Well, you've got Gem Flyer. He looks a fair little dog. He was schooled in Ireland, actually. He had a couple of schools in Ireland and broke the track record around the schooling track. He come here, but we had to reschool him because the English jumps to the Irish jumps. But he come out and won in 28.70 the other night. He looks very good.
Right.
What else we got? Victory Symbol. He looked as good as any of them when he started, doing 28.60. And I thought he would probably be our top dog. But then he fell in his first race and he seems to have lost confidence. So we're going to run him and trial him and try and get it back before it starts.
Yeah. You've had several winners at the Springbok in the past, of course. We mentioned Double Rock last year. Mm-hmm. You've had the Lemon Dogs, Yachtsman and Chip. You've had also Super Hunter.
Yeah.
And there's one more, Clashing Ash. Right, out of, let's say, all the hurdlers you've had in the past, which brings back the fondest memories for you, Philip?
With the hurdles, possibly a dog called Borney's Rocket, which my father trained, because he was a 28.90 on the flat, and he finished up doing 28.70 over the hurdles. I think he was bought for £50, and it was a family concern. You know, they couldn't afford an expensive dog, and he went on and won the Springbok.
Yeah. And
you get a kick out of that because he was a nothing dog that went on and done something. You know, understand?
Yeah. It must be lovely to see them grow up from being novices into sort of top-class performers over hurdlers. Now, do you think the Springbok is a prestigious novice event every year? Do you think it needs maybe more prize money, a bigger entry? People talk about maybe a 48-dog stake rather than the 36 at the moment.
Yeah, it could. Of course, it could be bigger money. But the Springbok, when it was very, very small money for years and years, but they still got that amount of dogs wanting to try for it.
Yeah.
Amongst the trainers, there's a hell of a lot of competition trying to win the Springbok. I mean, with a novice, you're schooling them, taking them up there, you're getting frustrated, and then they're going well, and then you're getting frustrated again. When it all comes right, it's a big kick. Now, after the Springbok, they go on to the National. Now, if they're good enough, they win a National.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a different race altogether to the National.
Yeah. Wimbledon trainers do seem to have a stranglehold on the Springbok. Is it just down to local knowledge?
Well, I think local knowledge has got to play a big part in it, but also they do have a lot of hurdles, and they cater for hurdling at Wimbledon. It always has. They've always had the top hurdlers.
Yeah. So perhaps if other tracks, let's say Wembley, really wanted to have a chance of winning a Springbok or something like that, they really do have to build up their hurdling strength.
That's right.
And maybe years of experience, I suppose.
Yeah, but see, I would have 14 or 15 hurdlers in my kennel at this moment, which is a lot. Usually I've got 6. And all the other trainers say I've got 6. 6 or 7 or up to 10.
Yeah.
So you can change the races about so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where other tracks, they only have, like, you see the same dogs in the same hurdle every night.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we do cater for them at Wimbledon. It's just, and like they might put 2 races on a night sometimes as well.
I noticed Linda Mullins is putting a raw puppy over hurdles in the near future, and Giz a Smile is quite young, April 91,
Yep.
I think you told me. Now, is this wise for something so young in its career to go hurdling?
Yeah, there's no reason why they shouldn't do, really. I mean, if I myself, if I was an owner and wanted to buy a dog, that's what I would try and go for at the hurdler, because the prize money's so good. There's loads of big prize money, you know, for the taking. Which you try and win a £5,000 race over the 460. There's so many good dogs, but the hurdling night is cut down to when the competition starts. You'd say there's 6 dogs to beat.
Yeah, yeah.
You get the Derby, there's 50 dogs to beat.
Endless.
50 dogs could win it. That's right.
That's right, that's right. And talking about hurdlers, I mean, the future for hurdle racing, obviously it looks good, because people think it's an exciting event, don't they?
I think it is exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
People that have never been to the dogs, they come out. Oh, I didn't know they went that fast.
Yeah.
But I mean, they fly through them, don't they?
Yeah. Now, looking at your Springbok hopefuls, I mean, would there be anyone that you think, well, after the Springbok, come what may, I really do think that this will be an outstanding hurdler for 1993?
I think, to be honest, I think all the first 3 or 4 of mine will all be top class.
Right.
It's just, I think they'll finish up running amongst themselves for the top races.